gosh, I feel like I went on a weird tangent there. Maybe, hopefully it made sense. Maybe editing me can fix this. Hello, and welcome back, ladies. If this is your first time here, welcome to JAKS Journey. I'm Jax, and this is a channel where I share my journey on building my family. So I wasn't gonna do a 2019 recap because I don't know. It just didn't seem like that much had happened until I wrote it all down and I realized, never mind, 2019, a lot happened. So more than just a recap, I wanted to share what had happened in 2019, but more my feelings for 2020 and what our game plan is. And kind of by we, I mean me and my family and what we're doing, and then what we are gonna go do and what kind of content I hope to make in 2020. So I hope you will indulge me in this little exercise of remembering what happened in 2019 and setting goals for 2020. The first half of 2019 just felt like I was just reacting. A thing would happen and I would react, and then I would wait for the next thing to happen, and that was it. I felt very out of control, and I was throwing myself willfully into the chaos, but like I had no control of the outcome. I started off the year by doing IVF, and so it was just waiting on these phone calls to hear how many eggs, how many fertilized, how many made it to day 5, what is the embryo count, and that was a huge roller coaster to get so excited at so many eggs, and then so disappointed with how many made it to day 5, and finally getting the relief of at least having 3 normals. And oh man, it was just a lot to go through that, and at the same time doing adoption things, so waiting for clearances to come back and for paperwork to pass and to do these home studies and waiting on that, and then just waiting. In February we went live and we just waited. That was all of 2019, and then it was just being in a job that I kind of felt meh about, and knowing that I had to keep it until we got past all of this, and then finally, it got to change for the back half of the year. It was really me and the husband just doing instead of waiting and reacting, and Evangeline was born, so we got to decide how we wanted to parent, and then I got to decide finally to move jobs and do something else. I also have picked up a side hustle job. I guess that's really my 3rd job if you count this as a side hustle. I don't know. So now I have my main 9 to 5, and in the summer I'll be starting teaching, which is a passion of mine, and I've just never made it my career because industry is more lucrative, and normally you need some experience to teach in my field. So I've gotten some experience, and now I get to teach, and that's really exciting. And I am excited to grow this channel and to keep growing with all of you ladies. And watching Evangeline grow is really fulfilling. And so as the year progressed, I just got to take so much more control of my 2019, and I reinvested in friends and family. My parents moved back to this area, so that was great. I got to, like I said, reinvest in relationships that had kind of just gone on pause. Infertility is hard and all-consuming and just drains you, and so those relationships were just coasting. And reinvesting in the people that give me joy back has been wonderful these last few months. I kind of just forgot what it was like to have those really fulfilling, evenings and weekends with family and friends. That's been energizing, busy, but energizing. And I hope to carry that forward in 2020. I know a lot of people make fitness and weight loss and career goals, but I also make personal goals within my marriage and within my friends groups. And that, I think, is something that sometimes people neglect a little bit, to set purposeful goals, to be a quality friend and to build quality relationships. So that's on my goal list, along with some weight loss, but I have been doing pretty successful on that. I'll make a video later about that. Anyway, I'm getting on a side tangent. That's kind of getting into what is happening for this channel in 2020, and I would like to really get back to the content that gives me joy, and that is the informational, the teaching content. So I will be kicking off a series all about IVF and IVF transfers, obviously timely given where we are in our journey, right? Things are always more interesting when they're personal to you. So I will be going through that, not only to teach the basics of IVF, but going through, I heard that this helps. Does it actually help? Is there any science behind it? I feel like sometimes you you read blogs or watch YouTubers and they're like, I was on these 5 vitamins and I swear that made the difference. But do you actually know? Like, you shouldn't take their word for it, and I don't want you to just take my word for it too. So I want to actually go through the science of why. Let's see. I have notes, not that I've looked at them this whole time. Let's see. Oh yeah, let's get back to 2019. 2019 was the end of a battle to finally start our family. And I always say, keep on fighting, ladies, at the end of my videos, because I know some days you just need that reminder that you have to get through today and make it to tomorrow, because you don't know what that day brings, whether it's an opportunity to try something new or it's one step forward in your journey. You just don't know. And I keep saying it now, even though Evangeline's born and with us and we adore her, because one day I will have to pick up and battle again for our next child and the next one. We have 3 embryos waiting and we don't know what the outcomes of those are going to be. I'm not naive. I know that may not be enough. That may not get us our 2nd or 3rd child. So even though someone gets their first step in building out their family, it is not the end of the battle. So I always end my videos with keep on fighting, ladies, because tomorrow might be the day that you get new information, that you do have to start again, that you do have to re-strategize, talk to another doctor, talk to a different agency. So I always want to remind you to keep on fighting, ladies, because the front half of my 2019 was grueling and the back half was so rewarding, and you just never know when that tipping point will be for you. And some days it feels like never, and I am here to remind you weekly that that is not true. Your journey will tip at some point and you will get to experience the rewards from all of your hard work. And in 2020, whether it's a year that you're fighting or just soaking up your family, I want to wish you the best of luck with everything that 2020 has to hold. For me, I'm so excited to spend it with Evangeline, to spend it with the husband, and just get to enjoy some time together. But you never know what tomorrow will bring. So, like always, keep on fighting, ladies.